Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about why the narcissist will never find true love. Why the narcissist will never find true love. This is going to be a long one, you guys, but it's going to be a good one, and I'm going to share with you guys my testimony about this. I have many stories. I have many different experiences that help me see things in the way that maybe other people can't see them. And maybe, certain people don't want to admit to their imperfections, but I'm going to admit my imperfections, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys about, why the narcissist cannot find true love. And, sometimes you have to live through certain experiences to let go. The universe will pull you away from anything that is not for you, or, that just doesn't make any progress in your destiny. The universe takes away people that are holding you back, that are wishing bad on you, people that hate you. It's crazy because sometimes you just don't see it coming till it's over, right? And the reason you doubt yourself is because you're forcing yourself to stay in a union with someone that you no longer trust anymore. Once you don't trust someone, there's nothing there. The reason the narcissist cannot find true love is because they don't trust anyone. They don't trust themselves with anyone. You might think that the narcissist is happy. You might think that, their life went on and they're not thinking about you. They moved on. They're happy. They're happy with what they did to you. They're happy with their actions. And, we spend a lot of time thinking about what others did to us. And sometimes we don't want to look within ourselves, right? The reason the narcissist is incapable of love is because they cannot respect others' feelings. They cannot respect others' lives, space, time. They don't have that type of commitment to anyone. So you have to look at it this way. The narcissist is the type of person that the moment they're not your friend, right? The moment the narcissist is not your friend, guess what? They're talking bad about you. They're, triangulating you with other people and people that you might not be connected to. They're involving their own family members to gain up on you, to hit you, to call you names, to destroy your things. That's hate. There's no respect there. And without respect, there's no love there. There's no love if you're not being respected. The moment that you're being disrespected and this person is showing you that they don't care about disrespecting you, they don't care about your feelings, they can't empathize with your feelings, that person is incapable of loving you. You have to look at it this way. Someone can tell you they love you, and then they can hurt you. They can cheat on you, lie to you, nearly kill you, and tell you that they love you. And that's how badly someone can be in the position to want control, full control over you. And that's what the narcissist does. This is why they can do things to you. And then they can sit there and tell you, but, I love you, or I do love you, or I do care about you the way, I care about you more than a lot of people. They act like they value you, and at the same time they're killing you spiritually, physically, So respect is the ultimate, it's the literally the ultimate jewel to success and to love, because I know that you wouldn't hurt me no matter what. because of your own ego, you know? So the narcissist, you guys, is incapable of loving you. And you will think to yourself, no, there's moments in the relationship that were real, that I know it felt real. I know that they loved me in that moment. I don't know. It's like they're in and out of consciousness. This is why you stay with them for so long, because there's periods of times when they're love bombing you that you're like, no, the love bombing can't be fake. I know the terminology love bomb, but they don't know my relationship. They don't know that when we're good, we're good. Things are great, right? And I'm going to tell you guys, because I don't believe that the things that happened to me happened just to happen, because the way things played out, they played out in a way where everything just finally had made sense, right? Everything that, people warned me about when I was with this person finally made sense. When people are telling you stuff, it might not make sense, or you're trying to make sense, or you think they're steering you the wrong direction because they don't know the narcissist. You're like, they don't even know this person. They don't even need to know the narcissist a lot of times, because they're seeing their characteristics. They're like, this person doesn't respect you. If they respected you, they would respect your parents. They would respect the way they talk to your friends when they meet them for the first time. They would respect certain things. So when people see those things, they already know this person's playing games. This person's throwing jabs at you in front of their friends. This person knows they don't respect you. They don't care about you. They're trying to make it seem like it's a joke when they're serious. And then you believe that it's a joke. And then later on, people are treating you differently. And you realize, if it was a joke, why are people taking it serious, right? And it makes you hysterical, makes you look like the crazy person. And the moment that you're upset and you pull away from the narcissist, and you actually end up discarding them, or you end up blocking them because you're like, this person embarrassed me. They made me look like a fool. I cried myself to sleep, basically. I wanted to end things, right? You're like in so much pain because they're lying to you. You feel like you're in pain even when you're with them, because you start to see that eventually you're going to be alone again, because that's just what they've been doing. You can't understand what's happening. You don't know why. You're like, why? Why won't they just leave? Right? So when things got worse for me, you guys, I ended up in hell. I went from having a completely different life to just being at the bottom, literally at the bottom, nowhere to go. And, I feel like God sends people your way, and everything happens for a reason. And God sent someone my way before I went through this hell. And just a friend, just someone to be there. Sometimes, God sends people your way because God knows, like, that you don't even deserve to be here, but you have to be here so that you can fully understand what this person did to you and how bad it is. Because so many bad things are happening. Your whole world is shattered, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to get back up. It's okay. I'm going to get back up because I always get back up. That's how the narcissist thinks. They always feel like there's going to be a new supply. So then you start to think to yourself, oh, dang, I got that same mentality. But you're like, I'm not like anyone else. I'm actually going to do it. That's how the narcissist feels, right? But that's your human instincts. Your survival instincts is to survive. So you're like, I need to survive at all costs. But the difference between you and the narcissist is that you still have empathy. So there's certain things that you just won't do. You know that that energy is trying to pull you in because you know it too well. You've studied the narcissist so long. And now you get to see that just like the narcissist uses people, you're trying to pull your way up, and it's like, I'm hungry. I need stuff. You know, the narcissist made me pull myself away from everything I loved. I'm in this world alone. So the first, that moment where someone comes and they save you, you're just happy to be saved, right? You're like, I'm not in love with you. I'm just happy to be saved. And if this is a pattern that you keep doing to yourself, because it's an addiction to the narcissist. This only happened to me one time, and I realized what the game was. So I'm going to give you free game, and I'm going to be truthful to you. I ended up looking at this person, and I realized, when they had passion in their eyes for me, they knew I'd been through a really bad situation. They knew I can't think about love right now, but I appreciate your friendship. I did things for this person that I feel like anyone should do to anyone when they're living with them, So if you're living with someone, it's like you're going to cook, you're going to clean after yourself, you're going to study the people around there and respect their privacy. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have respect, because respect, to me, what I realize now, it's love. So I realized in those moments that I was in hell, I still had love in my heart because I had enough respect. See, the narcissist does these things, but they've already done them a lot of times. I'm going to cook. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. They've already done this so many times. And it keeps getting worse, but they still keep doing it because they're addicted to it, And they don't think there's anything. They're like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I've already chosen. I don't want certain things that, for myself that you think I should have. So you start to see, how a narcissist can literally be blank and not feel anything, because you can be with someone and, appreciate their friendship, but you don't want anything past the friendship. So that's what I was getting with this person, and this person's like, maybe in time, maybe one day, and I'm just like, like, I know that's not going to happen. Certain things started happening in that person's life because they started to view me differently because of the nice gestures that I was doing that they probably weren't used to. So then they started to view me differently, and that's when their emotions started coming out, right? And I was like, wow, so that's what it is when someone cares and the other person does not care in the same way. During that situation that I was in, it's like I knew I didn't love this person, or I didn't care about them the way they cared about me, but the way they were so loving, so giving, so respectful made me want to stay, because I felt like, wow, so this is what it feels like to feel actually protected by a man, right? This is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like to have someone love every inch of you, right? And that's what the narcissist loves, the beginning, where you look at them a certain way. So I realized, oh, okay, I've been so used to being treated like crap that now when I have it's not happening at the right time. The timing is wrong. But all these things are like, okay, I get to see what love really is. It's like God wanted me to see, like, you've been taking all of this for no reason, basically, right? I started to see that, I was so focused on the narcissist that I didn't even know when someone was flirting with me, basically. And I would think people were lying if they liked me. Like, you're lying, because the narcissist had been so deep in my brain. And I thought they loved me because of the love bomb, where they think they love you, but it's just, they like the way you look at them. So I realized, like, wow, okay, I get it now. So it was like I was starting to understand the mind of the narcissist. They really don't feel like they're doing anything wrong. So I also realized, because I started to tell myself, maybe one day when I heal, when I don't feel this bad, because I feel like dying, maybe this friendship could grow into something, right? And I was with this person, like, with them no more than 90 days, you guys. I wasn't like playing games with this person. I immediately, once things started getting, when I knew that I was hurting them, I knew, like, I had to step it up and make it on my own, right? So things started going bad the moment that I started to force myself to start having thoughts of the future, of how maybe if I heal, maybe I could love this person back, even though I know I don't. I just know they're such a good person. And it's not that I'm not attracted to them. It's just that I'm so hurt, right? And it's crazy, because when you meet the narcissist, they show you vulnerable parts of them. They'll cry even. And you'll think I'm their best friend because I'm hearing them out, right? So the moment that I felt like I didn't love the narcissist anymore, because I was seeing that I could be treated differently, I was like, I don't love the narcissist anymore. I started to actually hate them. Like, I was like, literally, yeah, I hate them. Like, I really, like, at that moment, I hated them. But looking back now, I don't think I hated them. I think I was telling myself that I hated them until I believed it. And eventually, it seems like when you don't love them, it's almost like they feel it and they start going through karma. And this is why the cycle repeats itself, because they start going through karma and now they reach out to you. And I realized that when I didn't feel like I loved the narcissist and I disconnected myself, it always happened during the relationship where they go through something and come back. This is why I say the narcissist could never love, because even when they move on to someone else, it doesn't work out because it already started in a lie and they never gave you closure. They never respected you, so they can't get you got to give respect to get respect, and the universe knows that. That's big game right there. So I realized, wow, every time when I was in La La Land and I didn't know what was going on, that finally processed in my mind, and I was like, oh, every time that I don't really, when I start healing, they come back. That's when it finally processed, right? And I was like, but it's crazy that someone that I don't love loves me, right? And I love someone that doesn't love me. Like, I don't love them. I love the narcissist, but the narcissist doesn't love me. And I was thinking to myself, if I start to love this person, because I started giving them when I started to feel like I think I can love you, I guess, and I started to feel like maybe I can see myself with this person. It was like they started acting different. Like, they started acting like, okay, I got you already, and I got you in my hook. I'm going to get you. You're going to be mine. It was like this control. So then I started to think to myself, okay, so people out here don't really love you. Excuse me. They don't really love you. It's about control. So then I started to feel resentful to the person that I was with, because I started to feel like, you don't love me, you just want to control me. You're just like the narcissist. It's just about control. So I started to realize human beings are very ego-driven control. This person wants me to, they don't understand I'm still healing. They want me to just hurry up and heal, because they're only thinking about themselves, because they're like, I just got someone who was out here wandering around, and I picked them up, and because I picked them up, I can feed them snacks and have them under my control. But they're just scared. They're looking at me like, you're just scared, and they're getting off on that. They're getting fuel off of that. And I realized that person just wanted control over me as well, even though they weren't doing anything compared to the narcissist, right? But I knew if I loved them, they would take it away, how they were behaving with me. Because when their ex actually reappeared, I realized that it was like the moment that he didn't love the person, that his ex that came back, the moment he didn't love them because he was interested in me, it's like now she wanted him, right? And I was like, this is crazy, like out of nowhere. But the thing about it is that he was honest with me, and I actually respected that. And I was like, when someone is honest with you, that's the biggest form of love. That's respect, right? The narcissist never tells you the truth about anything when their exes come back. They just disappear. What I also learned is that you can be deceived because someone is being truthful to you, because, I studied the situation, and, you can give in, and then that person might not be as truthful. They might not be, they might not be respectful of you in due time. So it might seem that way at first, and then you might think they're the perfect person, but in due time they start showing you that other side to them, and you get to see what they're capable of doing to you. So that's what some narcissists do, is that they won't give you any signs of anything. They'll tell you their exes have reached out to them, and you're like, I thought you changed your number. And they just start, getting caught up with fake phones, with, side phones and things like that. So then you start to see that this person's not respecting you. They're not even telling you about all these extra phones they have, or, apps and secret apps with secret numbers. So that's what I started to realize. I'm like, oh, dang, that's why, God wanted me to go through that experience. It wasn't something that lingered on for years. It was something within a couple of months, but I learned so much from it, because it was like I was an animal roaming free in the forest, in the wild jungle, and boom, someone came and swooped me up quick, because they knew I didn't know myself completely either. But I realized the pattern. So, the narcissist, the moment that I didn't love them, now they love me. Now they're sending flowers. Now they're going, beyond. Now they want to get married. Now they want to do all these things, right? That they didn't once want to do. And that's because now they know, they sense something going on. They're like, I haven't heard from you. You've moved on. You're posting things like nothing. Like, you must have someone, and things are going bad with me. And just knowing that to them, it's like you beat them. Now they're angry, they're upset, they're coming for you. This is why they can move on with other people, and then they come back to the past. They have no respect. Don't go right. They don't respect the game. The game involves 1 minute they love you, 1 minute they hate you. But at the end of the day, I'm going to respect you either way. They don't respect anything. Right? So when the narcissist came back, I learned so much. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to go back. I don't know why, you guys. I was like, I need to go back. I need to show them that I know so much more, that I understand what they did to me. Because I was still like, didn't know. I was still in the clouds, still didn't know what had happened to me. I still didn't know what had happened to me, but I thought because I had information and I understood that one minute they love you, one minute they hate you, I thought maybe if I love you even when I hate you, maybe I can change my reality, right? It's like you're still questioning God in a way. If you're questioning God, you don't truly respect yourself yet. You think you do, but you're being disobedient. And I left that person, but right before I left them, right before I left them, they lost their job. And I had this guilt inside of me because I thought to myself, this person's been working here for years, and all of a sudden I'm in their life. And the first moment that I talked to the narcissist and I gave them the time of day to communicate with me, because I felt like that chapter wasn't closed, because I was still hurting. They made it seem like they had been looking for me everywhere, and I had family that was reaching out to me, and I was like, they never go this hard for me, reaching out to family and everything. That's just part of the game of the narcissist. They'll reach out to people, your friends. They started reaching out to my friends too. So I was like, it has to be love. We have a connection that I've never felt before, right? I'm going back into the fog again, basically. So I'm already planning my escape. I'm planning my escape, you guys. Just like the narcissist plans their escape. And I'm keeping it 100% with you guys, because it might be triggering to some people, but this is what God made me go through in order for me to understand what the narcissist was doing to me. Because my grandmother told me, this man is going to turn you to dust. I was like skinny, and I was just like, I wasn't alive. I was like, what's the word I want to use? I was somewhere between heaven and hell, because I was seeing everything. I guess I was in heaven, then I went to hell, then I was in the middle. That's where I was at. I was in the middle. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go back, because it's not going to change my reality. Things are still happening to me. And that's how the narcissist looks at things, like, oh, things are still happening to me. I felt like I could control things, like, I can control things. But the moment that I did that person lost their job, and I felt like it was my fault, because I seen the narcissist do it to me so many times, right? So I stayed, because I was like, we gonna struggle together. So this person I was with, they were so pissed, and they ended up, when they lost their job, they ended up getting in a car accident, and I was just like there, right? And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, like, this is probably my fault. And I had this guilt over me. And I knew I wanted to go back to the narcissist, but I also knew that I could not leave that person like that because of me, because of the energy I brought into the relationship, friendship that I had with this person that was being honest with me about their feelings, their ex, everything. And here I am not telling them my ex came back and, reached out to me. So the moment all that stuff started happening, it reminded me of all the times where the narcissist would come back with me and they would love bomb me, but then they weren't honest with me and bad things would happen to me. And I stayed by that person's side because they lost their job, they didn't have a car, and then boom, I get into an accident, right? So we're both in a messed up situation. We're, I'm working hard, trying to get a car. He's working hard, trying to get a car. We're Ubering, Lyft everywhere. And I'm suggesting certain things, certain jobs that he should work in, things that are better than what he was doing, and things that he thought he couldn't do. And I was like, I'm not going to let you drown. You help me. I'm not going to let you drown. It has nothing to do with me loving you or being in love. It's like, I'm just not going to let you drown because I don't feel the same way as you. I can't let you drown. I can't, because you helped me when I was drowning. So that's the respect I'll give you. So I stayed around. I uplifted that person to do something better. I helped them get there and back. I was, paying for their Ubers and their Lyfts, and got them back into a better situation. Now they're driving a nice truck. And when all that happened, now I made my exit plan and I ended up leaving. And when I went back to this person, like I said, I didn't want to be with them even then. But it was more of I respect you. Like, I'm always going to respect you. Like, I'll always be here for you. And that's basically what I went back for, to just let that person know, like, hey, I'm always here for you. So I remember when I went back, he was outside with his new girlfriend in a truck. And I was like, wow, like, he moved on quick, right? But I already knew the game, because just like he didn't love his ex, but he loved me. What happens is that when you're with this person, right? While I was with this person that I didn't love, other people were attracted to them that were probably not attracted to them initially, but they were attracted to them just by seeing them with me. So the moment that I eliminated myself because I didn't want to hurt anyone, he found someone that loved him more than, he loved them. So I thought that was like, I was like, that's kind of crazy, the way it happened or whatever. He moved on so quickly that when I went back to let him know I respect him, I realized that he didn't respect me, and I was blaming myself. Even though I knew he only wanted control, I was blaming myself because a part of me, just didn't want to put someone through what someone else put me through. So what I realized is that when I went back and he moved on so quickly, the bad luck that he was getting wasn't coming from me and my choices, because I had never deceived him in how I was feeling, because I was heartbroken. So I never deceived him about that. So to me, I started to see that those bad things were happening because they started to deceive me, and they were looking to compensate a better life by association, because the moment that they moved on quickly, the type of person they were dating, it was like, no, I could just tell the whole thing was shady, so I still respected them even after the fact. And that's the thing. People will do things to you, but then it's like I needed them at that moment just as they needed me. But the moment the relationship wasn't useful to neither one of us, I knew when to, back away from it and not get too deep into it, because I didn't know if they truly respected me or they were pretending to. So that's what I knew, and my intuition told me, and I was right, so I felt like that situation was for me to understand the control that people have over others, and just as they think they have control over the person that they're with, they don't even know that that person is waiting to come up on them. And I knew that by looking at the person they were with. So yeah, and then, months after, they came looking for me, and I was like, it's not like I didn't even give them any energy at all, but I always, will respect them. We will always have a time and place and a memory. And I realize that's all it is, even with the narcissist people in your life and the narcissist that you fall in love with. You learn through these experiences what type of energy you don't want to be around once you become whole with yourself. And that is what made me realize, during my healing, when I finally understood, when you love someone, sometimes they don't love you, they take it away. When you don't love them, you're not too far deep into the relationship. It's like they're obsessed with you. The narcissists, especially in the beginning, they're obsessed with you. They want all your time. They want, all of you, and it has nothing to do with love. So yeah, you guys, it literally took me, I wouldn't leave I was the type of person that I wanted to make the relationship work no matter what. Like, I was in love with this person. I didn't care. I was happy when they were happy. I didn't even care if they didn't love me the way I loved them. I just wanted them to experience real love. And I used to cry, in front of them sometimes, just because I loved them so much. I used to cry and tell them, one day you're going to wish I was here, and you're going to realize, the kind of love that we had, even when you weren't fully in, because you're never going to have someone love you this much, and I think a lot of us feel that way when we're with a narcissist, and they're looking at you like, I've done this plenty of times. I'm cold as ice. They'll lead you on for years. So all it took me was to go through a love bomb discard one time for me to see the other end of the stick. And, I couldn't understand how a narcissist could live with themselves knowing they're doing that to someone for so long. But the reason they don't care is because there's someone in the background that they're chasing. They're just not telling you that. And they've been chasing, going back and forth with that person for years. That's why they lack empathy for you. So all it took me was for me to be in that situation for a little bit, just to see how narcissists do people, how they're in the moment. Oh, maybe I can make this work out because I'm getting certain things from this person. I like their lifestyle. I like certain things they supply, but it's not love because they don't respect you as a person. They're just looking like, I can sexually exploit you. I can do this. I can do that. I can be with you when I'm not feeling good. When things aren't going right in my life. Soon as I get some money, I'm out of here. Everything is so superficial with them because they're trying to attract superficial people. And you're thinking, oh, well, if they want to attract superficial people, why aren't they with other superficial people? Because a lot of times the way the narcissist is treating you is the way someone is treating them. This is why there's people out in the world who will come to your job and treat you bad. But if someone comes to their job and treats them bad, they don't like it. So when my grandmother told me, he's going to turn you to dust, I didn't understand what she was saying, because she told me a story about how when she was younger, just like around the same age. Everything that happened to me happened to my grandmother. And I used to be upset at her and resented her for just me. I was viewing her just like a complete narcissist, but I also understood that she was playing the game and she had been playing it longer than me. And just like the narcissists, they've been playing the game and they're just like, this is the only way I can play it. I'm dealing with what I can. These are my cards, and all I could do is play the cards that I have. So I realized when she would tell me this story about a narcissist that basically was in her life, he was trying to deceive her because, in our family, marriage is something that my family takes very, very serious. I'm like, those people, those narcissists. No, but it's just people that are in pain, hurting each other, you guys, and they don't care how you feel because they haven't came into a higher self of consciousness yet, even if they think they're woke, right? They say, I'm woke, but they haven't, because if you have, you'll never do that. You'll never exploit someone that badly to the point where it's like, that person is on their deathbed. You wouldn't want to exploit anyone at all, because all your energy would be coming from good things, your good energy will just attract good energy, and that energy will just come back to you. So someone who is at a higher self in consciousness, they're not going to do that. So all it took me was one time for me to see that's not what I want to do. And it's like God wanted me to see it, That's why a lot of us are sinners, but we come to God because we realize, God is the one, riding this boat. But we want to control everything. We want to control people. We want to control our destiny sometimes. And even though we can steer things in a different direction, which is either positive or negative, there's no in between, unless you're stuck. And if you're stuck, you're going to eventually, someone's going to pull you down when you're stuck, when you're in the middle. So this is why you have to be careful and self-aware, even at your lowest points of self, to even if your whole world has crumbled, you still have to live at your highest dimension, even in those situations, because it comes so easily and so quickly. So when that happened to me, I knew that was God. When I got back on my feet and bad things would happen here and there, God will come and rescue me right away. I have a car problem, someone would just pull over on the side of the road. Hey, you need help? I have AAA. Quick, to where I was like, okay, God knows I'm going the right direction. That's why he just wanted me to see things. It was like a movie, because now I got to replay everything that happened in the past, things people said to me, things my grandmother said to me about this relationship she was in, and how when she met my grandfather, she always said this story that my grandfather loved her more than she loved him, but he never disrespected her. And that's why she stood with him, because he respected her. And she said, I would rather be with someone that respects me. That's why I didn't pay that guy any attention. I had wasted, part of my youth being in love with this person. When your grandfather came and he loved me, he showed me true love. I made sure that I got married and I did the right things, because this person respected me. And I realized that respect is love, right? So she would say this to me, but in my eyes, it was like, well, you guys have fights, you guys have problems, but it was never that deep, because at the end of the day, he respected her. He respected his children. The narcissist doesn't respect their children. And then I would view my grandmother as the narcissist, because I'm like, she doesn't even love my grandfather. I'm like, you don't even love my grandpa. You said it. I'm thinking on a superficial level, like, how could someone say something like that? Like, how could you say you weren't in love with him, you weren't smitten by him, but you married him and had kids and you enjoyed, a lot of his labor and the things that he, had going on in his life, and you came from nothing, and he uplifted you. And then once he gave you, he pulled you up a little bit and you went further than him. You don't ever want to let him know that without you being the brains, it wouldn't have went this far. You're giving yourself too much credit when in reality, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have never went this far, because the fact that you went this far, it means that he always respected you. That's why bad things weren't happening in your life and you were able to achieve certain things, because you had someone by your side that respected you. They might not love you sometimes. They might hate you sometimes. These are just emotions, but they respect you, meaning that even when you're not around each other, they're not talking bad about you. They're respecting you. Even if you get in fights, arguments, even if you split up, you still have respect for that person and respect for your children. So I used to look at it like a bad thing until I realized, wow, when I love this person, they don't love me. When I don't love this person, they love me. I had to go through that situation where I was like, oh, so this is why the narcissist never wants you to feel like they love you so much either, because then they feel like you're going to go and cheat on them. So this is why they're like, control, 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 because if not, when you go to work or you go somewhere and people are flirting with you, you're going to fall prey to someone because they're being kind to you, because they're feeding your ego, because the narcissist's ego needs to be fed for them to feel in control. So once you don't control people, once you're truthful to people about your motives, once you realize that people are truthful with you, they're not lying to you, they're not being sneaky, they're being open, they don't have to hide their phone from you, they don't have to hide who they're calling or texting, they're not blocking you, they're not, putting you on airplane mode, they're not disappearing for days. When good things are happening and you're experiencing good things together, when this person comes to your rescue and they defend you, that's the ultimate respect. You're not going to sell me out so easily. That's respect. And even if you were to tell me you don't love me, but you're doing all of these things for me, and I'm doing things for you because I respect that you're helping my dream. And we're respecting each other. We're friends. I might not die for you. You're my best friend. I might not die for you because your problems are your problems and my problems are my problems. My karma is my karma. Your karma is your karma. But I respect you. You respect me, and we're being real with each other. And if you respect me, that means that you love me. That to me is love. That means that you're not out here in the jungle just ready to hunt me down and kill me. And just because you're starving, you're not going to exploit me because you respect me. And if you can contain your animalistic nature and control yourself and control your emotions, because you realize that I'm a human with empathy and with love, that's the ultimate sign of love. So for a narcissist to do this to someone for years at a time, for months, even weeks, months, especially months, weeks, okay, we had a moment. months, okay, and it's over and they're not contacting you no more. It's 3 months, 2 months, and they disappear because they're not real. They weren't for you. You're going to tell yourself, I'm glad it's only been 2-3 months and it's not years. And I found out that you're married and you have a whole family and you've been lying. And I actually have the opportunity to walk away. And even if I did love you, even when knowing the truth about the lies you told, by you telling me, by you not proceeding with the relationship so that because you respect your wife and your family and your kids, by you not proceeding with it, you're showing the ultimate respect to your wife and to your family by you not proceeding with it, by you not proceeding with the lie. And not only are you respecting them, you're respecting the person that is flirting with you by showing them that you have standards. And this makes people want you more. And this is why even when the narcissist thinks that they love someone, the test comes when other people come into play. The test comes when Satan sends people your way. And guess what? The narcissist fails every single time. I'm not lying to you. It's like every time the narcissist feels like they could fall in love and respect someone, Jezebel comes around. Another narcissist comes around, and they always fail. This is why they can't love no one. They can't love the new supply. They can't love their side chick. They can't love their main chick. They can't, and then they feel effed up in their heart, in their brain, and in their spirit, and don't know why. And now they're angry and they're taking it out on everyone. They're snapping. They're taking it out on the person that they know they're hurting the most, instead of the person that doesn't care about them because of their own pain. So when people are treating you shitty, believe them. They're lying to you. They're deceiving you, because trust me, I've been on both sides of this type of situation. And like I said, I wouldn't be able to break this down to you and explain it to you this way if God, I wouldn't say God put me in that situation. I put myself in that situation. But God gave me the eyes to see. God knew what situation, because when bad things happen to you, different type of things happen to you. We all have different stories. That was one of the things that happened to me. I also had a miscarriage. It was like, it wasn't meant to be. It was just, no matter how much I wanted it, it just wasn't meant to be. God didn't want that for me. God wanted me to grow in consciousness, because I wasn't even supposed to stay around that person for too long. And I have other things and other missions that I have to finish. I finally realized, okay, God, I'm not here for my own selfish needs. I'm here for something bigger than me. I'm here to help other people out of this situation because of my past. Because I grew up in the church and I watched how people lost respect for me for not respecting myself. And when my grandmother stopped respecting me and she told me the narcissist is going to grind you to dust, at that time she loved me. But when I went against her and I was angry at her and the narcissist left, and I finally realized that I shouldn't have been that angry at her because she really cared about me, her respect was gone. And when her respect was gone, her love was gone. And that's when I was like, oh, dang, that's why respect is so important, because you'll disrespect someone just because you're like, oh, they're a narcissist. They might be a narcissist. They might be, but they're not doing anything to you. They might want control. But you never had to give it to them. You just thought you had to because you were used to it. You could have been a whole different person. You could have just let them be who they wanted. You could have allowed people to be who they wanted to be, and you could have just lived in your truth and came around when you felt like it. But you were too busy judging or pointing the fingers at them that you couldn't see that once something is gone, it's gone forever. Once respect is gone, it's gone forever, because when you lose respect for people, you'll do and say things that you should have never said. And that person will always remember, So I, always remember, things that were said to me and things that I did and things that I didn't think were a big deal. I should have respected my grandmother, and I should have, even with all the bad things that I had experienced with her, there were a lot of good things that helped me achieve my success now, just like the person that helped me when I was at the rock bottom. They weren't perfect. They did things to me. They slept with someone else, and at the same time, they were trying to tell me they wanted to be with me. But the moment, I basically was like, no, they moved on so quickly that I was like, well, were you even interested in me in the first place? But that didn't take away from all the good things that we experienced together. Because at the end of the day, I don't control that person. I don't control anyone. I can only control myself, So the narcissist can't love you because they will always lose control. They will always lose control. And they will never be truthful with you. When their past comes and knocks at the door, they're not going to be honest with you. And if they can't be honest with you, they don't respect you. And if they don't respect you, they don't love you. And I would rather be respected by people than being told that, they love me. The narcissist can say, I love you, I love you, I love you. They can leave little sticky notes everywhere saying they love you. They can send you flowers saying they love you. They can send you a text, an email, a voicemail and say, hey, I miss you. I love you. What are you doing? Can I come over? Can you come over or meet me somewhere? Let's go on a date. They can sit here and say all these things, but have they respected you? No. Because once you start dealing with people who respect you, you'll never want to be around people that disrespect you all the time. And you'll think to yourself, why did I even allow myself to be disrespected like that? But that's because you didn't know what love was. When people take time out of their world to come and help you in any kind of way, and they're not expecting much of you, that's respect. And once you lose someone's respect because you want to do what you want to do, or the people around you, your friends, are telling you, hey, leave this guy alone, like he doesn't respect you, like he's a fuck boy, and you're still like dealing with that person, and then the narcissist starts talking bad about them, and then when you're around your friend, you start acting different, and they can feel it, and they know why you're acting different, because they've already been there before, and they've already told you they've been there before, but it's not processing in your mind right at the moment because you're under a spell. Those people don't respect you anymore. When they don't respect you anymore, you'll go back to the past and be like, I wish I had that friend. She was a real good friend. She was always there for me, until the narcissist came along and steered me the wrong direction. So these are things that, I know will be very useful to someone that is in pain, or someone who doesn't understand how love works, because people's perception of love it's weird. They think, oh, we love each other because we bought each other something. We love each other because we're wearing matching outfits. We love each other because we're eating dinner together. But at the end of the day, these people are gossiping about each other. They're talking bad about each other to their families. They're treating their kids jacked up. They're in competition with their kids. They're fighting their kids. They're overly spoiling their children. They don't have any respect, any limitations, and this is why they all act like wild animals, and this is why they only love you as long as they're getting something, because they're basically animals. They're animals. This is what makes us different from other animals. There's certain animals that guess what? They're just going to bite you. They're hungry, they're just going to bite you. They're just thinking about their snack. The moment you don't give your dog that snack, they're mad at you. They're barking at you. Your cat's hissing at you. You know? Love is respect. Love is not being upset with you because you didn't get a snack. It's understanding, maybe I can't get this snack today. Hopefully we'll tomorrow. But I still love you. I can still be with you. I can still be around you. The narcissist, if you were to lose everything, they're gone. They're out the door. There's no respect there. They're wild animals. They'll bite you. And that's the difference between you and them when you come into consciousness, because now you understand the way animals in narcissists function. They function like animals. Like there's no empathy, there's no nothing there. There's nothing that keeps them from saying, I'm not going to kill this human being's spirit. You know? They're like little animals in the wilderness, you know, learning the hard way, you know. And a lot of us, we learn the hard way and then we adapt to the reality that narcissists are everywhere. And the only way that we can move forward is by, you know, testing people's loyalty, people's respect, you know. So I hope that this message, you guys, was helpful. I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing. I know this topic was really long, and, you know, I'm sharing my testimony with you guys. The reason I say, you know, in order to move forward, you have to let go of your past, because you can never go back to your past. This is why you have to enjoy people and enjoy moments in life, because sometimes even the people you think will always be there, you're thinking to yourself, they're always going to be there. You know, that's this, my mom, this, and that person can be taken away from you either while being alive or dying. And, you know, and then you'll think back like, man, I was going to work, I was going to school, and I didn't kiss my kid goodbye, or I didn't tell them I loved them today. And it was so easy. I could have just told them I loved them and I didn't do it. You know, so you get caught up in the narcissist drama that life will pass you by. And you'll miss out on opportunities. You'll miss out on people you were supposed to meet and come, you know, into contact with. And some people never wake up and they destroy themselves. Some empaths never wake up and they destroy themselves. So if you're here listening to this and you're listening to me right now, you haven't been destroyed yet. That means that once you come into your highest self, there's nothing that won't stop you from doing what you need to do, because you'll start looking at your time differently, because now you're like, I can do anything. I can speak a new language if I wanted to. Because you're finally one with yourself, you know. You were going through people who were holding you hostage mentally, breadcrumbing you, and, you know, tried to destroy you. When you were finally trying to escape that cage that you were in, you know, and when you leave and you're free, you know, they know that you're still going to try to find yourself in a world where everything is new and people and the things around you aren't what you once thought they were. And you're basically in a search of finding your tribe, people who are like you. And that's basically what happens at the end of your journey, is that now you're trying to attract your tribe, people like you, and you know they're going to come, about, but you're a magnet, and you can't attract things to you if you just stay there. If you're holding a magnet but you're not putting it to the fridge, it's no use. You're just holding a magnet. You're just holding information. You have to put the sign up, attract more energy, attract, people like you. So, yeah, you guys, this was my testimony for today. I have a lot of different stories, but when it comes to relationships, when it comes to love, control, ego, you don't have to be a narcissist to want control, or narcissists are just people that are deep in that behavior. Like, just because you might have done something bad in your life, you stole or something when you were younger, doesn't mean that you're a thief, because maybe you learned from that experience, never do it again, right? So sometimes you feel like, maybe I deserve this, but no, it's not that you deserve it. It's that there's lessons in life that you have to learn that you don't want to learn, or you want to be in control of every little detail. And when God is trying to redirect you somewhere else, and God is taking you on a detour, and you're thinking, oh no, that's going to be the long way. A lot of times the detour actually helps you get up quicker. So just something to think about, you guys. And, I'm going to end it here. And as always, I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace in your healing. If you guys want to book a session with me, my booking information, you guys, is on the description. As always, always give me 24 hours to respond to you, because I don't check my messages like repeatedly through the day. Sometimes it takes me a while to get back. So, subscribe if you guys are new to this channel and you guys have been watching and you guys have not subscribed. Like, share, comment, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.